Do you know what a rotational assignment is? Well, I'll tell you all about it in this video. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. In this expat term series, today we're going to be talking about rotational assignments. And a rotational assignment is an expat assignment as well. Previously on this channel, we have talked about short-term assignments and long-term assignments, and I will link them up in the cards. But today we're going to talk about rotational assignments. And a rotational assignment is when an employee spends a specific amount of time working abroad and then a specific amount of time also back home not working. So usually that amount of time overseas can last anywhere from, I'd say, 4 weeks to about 3 months. And this might sound a little bit confusing, but it's a great way for companies to have expat employees in more remote locations, like in the middle of the desert or offshore, literally in the middle of the ocean on oil rigs. Now let's talk about those crazy rotational schedules. Personally, I come from an oil and gas background. My dad was in oil and gas, my husband is in oil and gas, and I worked in oil and gas for 12 years before I started making these YouTube videos. So oil and gas is what I know, so I'm gonna share some of those rotational schedules with you now. A popular schedule, and one that I know really well right now, is a 14-14. And I know it because that's what my husband is working right now. He's been working that for about 8 months now. And what a 14-14 is you work for 14 days straight, or 2 weeks, and then you have 2 weeks off of work. And the days that you're working, you work for 12 hours. Another one, and it's used for more further locations, more global locations, is going to be a 28-28. And again, it's the same as a 14-14, but you are away in that expat country for 28 days. And then you go home to your family and have vacation, family time for 28 days. And you basically go back and forth for the duration of the assignment. So I do have to say that not all rotational schedules have equal amounts of time on work and time off of work. So a popular one that I know of is a 6-2, and that's where you will work overseas for 6 weeks and then you go home for 2 weeks to your family and have vacation time. Another one that I've heard of a lot is the 3 months on and then you have a 1 month at home. So that's something to consider as well. I think that's also gotten a little more popular throughout the pandemic because you have to take so much time to quarantine sometimes. And so by the time you quarantine, if you're only there for a month, it's time to turn around and go right back home. So 3 months kind of gives you a little bit more work time when you're having to add in the overseas requirements of quarantining. So these rotational schedules are good at attracting company talent of those folks that want to work an overseas job, but they are not willing to move their family. So they will go work overseas for, again, that specific amount of time and then come home and have a family time. And that's not to say that it's easy for the family by any means. It's definitely an adjustment period, especially at the beginning. But obviously there are definitely families out there that enjoy the schedule and it really does work for them. So what do you think about a rotational schedule? Do you think you could work a rotational schedule, a certain amount of time overseas and then that same amount of time back home, relaxing and enjoying whatever you like to do? Let me know down in the comments. All right, guys, I will be back next week with another expat HR related term to break down for you. Have a great week. Bye, guys.